I am Abby Dominguez, and welcome to another episode of Heart to Heart with Abagaba. I'm thrilled to be joined by Kirsten Telan. She is a children's book author, kindness advocate, and the creator of the Confetti Effect, a blog and movement that inspires families to spread kindness like confetti. Through her storytelling, creative tools, and heart centered message, Kirsten helps children grow in character, faith, and confidence. She's the author of A Tale of Two Dogs, a story that teaches children about friendship, kindness, and embracing differences with love. Hi, I'm Abby Dominguez. This is Heart to Heart with Abba Gaba podcast, and I'm so glad you're here. I spent over a decade as a nanny and teacher, learning from children and families around the world. Now I bring those lessons to you, heart to heart conversations with people from all walks of life, sharing stories of love, laughter, and resilience that remind us of the power of connection and community. Subscribe today and join our village of heart to heart listeners. Kirsten, thank you so much for being here today. I'm conversing with you from Mesa, Arizona. Could you please tell our listeners where I'm connecting with you from and add a short bio if you may?
Hi, Abby. I'm coming from Orlando, Florida, so we are across the country from each other.
Yes.
Oh, and thank you for having me on to talk about my Tale of Two Dogs, my children's debut just published. And I think I'd love to speak with you about my three home runs, which are my Confetti Effect blog, which I started way back in 2018, 7 years ago, and
Nice.
then my Tale of Two Dogs children's book that came out of that, and then something really exciting I'd like to announce while being with you today that I have written a 10-day devotional plan for you version. It's a Bible plan, and it is
Yay!
going live today. So this is great timing, and I
Yay!
feel like my Romans 8:28 Bible verse, and we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good according to his purpose. That is my scripture verse, and I do believe that all these three things have come together uh, for the good. So
Oh, I love it. Congratulations. And thank you so very much for sharing that with us. Your work overflows with joy and kindness. And A Tale of Two Dogs is such a beautiful reflection of that. I'd love to begin with the story behind the story. What first inspired you to write A Tale of Two Dogs, and how do the characters reflect the lessons you hope children will take away from the story?
Oh, that is such a great question, Abby. Thank you so much. This book was written 3.5 years ago. It's a little rhyme, and I didn't know how it was all going to unfold. But we brought home our little Shiba Inu, Mochi. That is a very distinct breed of dog. She is born and bred in Japan. And then a few months later, we brought home our Murphy the Pug, is another distinct breed of dog from China.
Hmm.
And we are very pug-centric people because prior to bringing our Murphy the pug home, we had two pugs that had passed away several years before. So that's important for you to understand, your listeners as well, because we knew pug personalities and characteristics.
Hmm.
And so we have Murphy the pug and Mochi the Shiba under one roof, and they are living together. And 10 months later, I just start observing, and I'm saying to my kids and my husband, it's very interesting how Mochi the Shiba, she should be more independent. They're a little more aloof, fox-like type of breed, very bold hunters. Why is she sitting on our lap and wanting a good massage, and just she's not displaying characteristics of a Shiba? But wait a minute, Murphy the pug over there, pugs are typically lap dogs, they're laid back, they're goofy, playful, charming, but
Hmm.
Murphy is hunting for frogs, he's digging for lizards in the backyard, he's digging holes, he's very stealth, he can jump up on the kitchen table. And I've noticed that these two dogs, these two distinct breeds, were taking on each other's characteristics. And so I sat down and wrote a rhyme
Oh,
about how our differences can make us stronger and better together. And that
oh,
can be applied, to humans. So
yeah,
that is
yeah.
where it all started.
That is so heartwarming. I love how you connect big life lessons with simple, relatable moments for kids. Speaking of connection, your whole platform is built around one of my favorite words, kindness. Your
Mhm.
blog and movement are called the Confetti Effect. Why does kindness mean so much to you personally? And how did that idea, spreading kindness like confetti, come to life?
Yes, thank you again for asking such a wonderful question. My confetti effect was created about 7 years ago, and I just started writing. And it's very interesting because early on, my articles were self-help. Um, they were more offering tips, tools for growth, encouragement. And over time, I realized my deepest source of help, peace, and purpose was found in my faith. And
Yes.
so
Wow.
these articles went from self-help to faith-based writing. And this was definitely a reflection that something deeper was happening in my heart and in my life.
Hmm.
And the self-help gave me a starting point in my writing and all the creativity, and it was very therapeutic as well, but the faith brought depth, and it was a turning point for me. So my blog stopped being just about what worked for me and became what God was doing in me. And my
Hmm.
pastor always tells us every week that when we show up, God shows up. And now I can see through the lens of God's word, grace, and truth. So I feel like I was going from advice to actually testimony in my faith, and faith became my framework. And the confetti effect, spreading kindness like confetti, has just been from the very first day. But I wanted to make a point how it did go from self-help to faith-based. And um, a lot of good comes out of that. It's really to find meaning and purpose through action and to spread kindness. Like confetti is also to move hearts and to go and do for others with no grand gestures. It doesn't have to be so complex or perfect. It's just no planning. Go on out there, give someone a smile. Um, Buy someone's coffee in a coffee shop, compliment somebody, hold a door for somebody. My husband and I like to say we like traveling good, and we like to pack kindness every time we go on vacation because it doesn't take up any room in our suitcase. And it's not a souvenir we're going to bring home and dust off. Anybody can do it at any time. And so it is just creating value and meaning and impact for other people. And I know that that does come back to us, and it makes us feel really good too.
I just love that image. Kindness sprinkled everywhere. Love it. Let's talk about one of the things kindness makes possible, celebrating what makes each of us unique. Your work encourages children to celebrate what makes them unique. I love that. How do your stories help children embrace their differences and see those differences as strengths instead of fears?
Yes, that's wonderful too. So our differences make us stronger. Yes, this is so important. It teaches and it builds, I believe, empathy in our little young readers, our children, encourages inclusion and respect and promotes problem solving as well and teamwork, and it builds self-esteem and prepares them for the real world. And one thing that I wanted to incorporate in my book was the fruit of the Spirit. And that is all part of my 10-day devotional plan that's going to be on YouVersion. And it's called Sprinkles of Confetti. And each day is talking about a reflection, a scripture verse, a family activity, and a prayer that goes along with each one of the 9 fruit of the Spirit, which are love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. And these are transformative values that I wanted to incorporate in my book because my goal was to encourage and to entertain and inspire, and that educate piece is real important. So that is to educate on the fruit of the Spirit and all these wonderful nine fruit of the Spirit that can be found in Galatians. And I do believe that all of humanity should embrace these nine amazing attributes.
That is so beautiful, Kirsten. Oh my goodness. You and we're gonna be best friends one day.
Oh, oh.
And I love that. And part of that courage that you spoke about to be different comes from stepping out of our comfort zone, something you talk about more often. Why is that such a powerful lesson, not only for children, but for grown-ups too?
Oh my goodness, it's so important. It's almost like when you ask somebody else. It started with my children who are beautiful children. They're now 29 and 27. And, when they were younger, I always preach and I want to encourage growth mindset, which is the opposite of fixed mindset.
Hmm.
And if you have a fixed mindset, then you're not open to try new things. But trying new things that's very scary. And growth mindset is to try to push yourself to do something maybe that scares you or terrifies you, but not in a bad way. And so I would always tell my kids, do something different, learn something new, get 1% better every day. And they would say to me, okay, well, what are you doing? And I thought, what am I doing to push myself out of a comfort zone? So I sat down and I said, what is something you've always wanted to do but would be really scared to do it? And the answer was take acting classes. And so I shared this with my family, and they said, well, you got to take acting classes, Mom. That is going to push you out of your comfort zone, growth mindset. And so I did. I signed up for a 3-month program, a great local acting school up the road, Lisa Maley, and I was
Nice.
them every Monday from 6 to 9 o'clock, and it was all improv. It was terrifying. I didn't want to go. I went. I can't believe what I was made to do the first 10 minutes of class. They just tell you, hey, this is your character, get up on stage. And there was 16 people in the room, and I grew so much in those moments. And so after that, what happened is they encouraged me to get an agent. And I was laughing so hard. I'm thinking, agent, are you kidding me? And so I did. I pressed on. That was scary. And then I ended up getting an agent, a local agent in town here. And then who knew I would be doing commercials? And then I got somebody interested in home shopping network, me doing some home shopping network things. I did that for 1 year, and you want to talk about out of comfort zones, going down to their headquarters, which is right here close to me. I'm in Orlando, but St. Pete, Clearwater area,
Uh-huh.
going on live shows and demonstrating skincare products. It
Wow.
was a whole thing, but I literally learned so much, and I'm here to say it's never too late. You're
Never
never
too
too old.
late.
You're never too old either, because
Never too old.
that was probably 5 years ago now, and I was early 50s. So I I'm going to tell you, whether you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, beyond, do it. It's not too late, and it's not too late to reinvent yourself either. So just some
Not.
encouragement.
You look amazing, by the way.
You can see me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you know what you see me. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much.
I just had to throw it
Oh,
out there. You
oh my God.
glowing with kindness and beauty.
Oh, I have my fun little book, which when I was with my illustrator, I just said to her, we need to have confetti colored
I love it. I love the
illustrations.
cover. I
They have
love it.
watercolor, and pink and orange are my favorite colors together.
Aw, they
And so
blend so well together.
I know,
They
thank
do.
you.
They blend
I wanted
so
it
well.
bright because I wanted the little ones to be able to be interested in the vibrant colors to attract them to the book.
Attractive, yes.
And then hopefully everybody loves dogs. So hopefully they'll find my little Mochi the Shiba and Murphy the pug.
I
They're
love the
just
names too.
little characters. Who knew they were named 5 years ago? And this was way before the book was even in my mind. And it's so amazing how this whole ecosystem, if you will,
Hmm.
has been built around the tale of two dogs. It was more of a story to me. It was a whole experience. So I just didn't want, I don't know, I didn't just picture children reading the book. I imagine them more to like jump in it, and
Hmm.
be in the Japan and China.
Oh, look at that page. How
People want to
beautiful and so
go
catching.
traveling.
Yeah.
Thank you. They're going traveling and they're learning and experiencing. And so I wanted it to be interesting that way. And maybe they can imagine themselves living inside of this story. And I also
Yeah.
created, Abby, some felt finger puppets that go along with the book.
Oh, that's so
And
amazing.
they're on my website as well as some stickers. You can download coloring pages. So
Uh-huh.
I've been going into schools and doing story times and bringing the dogs with me.
Oh.
It's been a whole thing. We're making crafts. We do little bookmarkers. We read the book with the finger puppets, and it's been wonderful because a lot of the children that are the threes, fours, 5 year olds, they don't know what finger puppets are.
Oh
And
no.
we grew up with them,
Yes.
and so I think that's a little bit of an old school, which I love. And it's making the characters come alive, and it's
Yes.
cool
Yes.
because it's screen free.
Hmm.
There's no screen time or anything like that.
Yes.
That has its benefits, but I do like the old school, going back
Oh
to
yeah.
bits and how we pretended with that and had the wooden little built-in puppet shows that we would
Uh-huh.
do. And so that is something that I really love and brings me so much joy too.
Yeah, it's bringing me joy listening to you right now. I love how you have the finger puppets because I'm a visual learner even as an adult. And then when I was a teacher, children really engage with books with like characters come to life. And so it just made me smile just listening to you and talking about the finger puppets and going
Love
to
it.
school. Like it's like we read a book to them, they like about we bring out the puppets and stuff. The engagement, they want to touch it, feel it, they want to being front and center here in the story. So, oh my
Yeah,
goodness, I love that.
exactly.
Thank you so much for sharing that. It's so freeing to hear creators be honest about all the story, the middle, the fears, the messy middle, and all that. There's also a sweet thread of faith woven into your work. And one phrase you always use makes me smile. You've said, spelling dog backwards is a God wink.
For a special God wink.
I love that. Can you share what that phrase means to you and how it connects to your faith and storytelling?
It's I don't know where to begin. We need 2 hours, but I know these little babies are not going to want that. But I don't know if you or your audience know who Squire Rushnell is.
I don't. I'm going to be honest.
Okay, that's okay. I have read a lot of his books. I have some back on my desk there, but
Uh-huh.
he is the father of coining the term God wink. So if
God
you
wink. Yeah.
Google him, Squire Rushnell, he has he has created that term God wink, and it's much more than a coincidence. It's much more than a personal experience. It's too astonishing. It's really a sign of divine intervention, I like to say, and they're chance encounters that are evidence of a divine origin. When certain things happen that cannot be explained, only God could do that. And I've had several of them in my life that have been so unbelievable. And I wrote about them early on in my Confetti Effect. And several years ago, Squire Rushnell reached out to me. Actually, his wife did. And I
Mhm.
didn't know. I thought it was a joke. She sent me an email. You just don't know. Who
Right.
is
You
this
just don't
person?
know. Yeah,
And I
exactly.
hate to say we go to sometimes scam or we don't know.
Yeah.
And she said, excuse me, she said, Kirsten, I just found you on your blog site, your Medium blog site, and I loved your article about Godwinks, and I was wondering if we could use it and publish it in our book that's coming out in the next year, uh,
Oh,
Godwinks for Moms, and they were going to publish it, and they did in May.
uh-huh.
I couldn't believe it. So we met
Wow.
each other, we did several Zoom and interviews, and they put my article in their book.
Oh,
And it's a culmination of God winks that they have met people around the country, found people just like me, and they put a book together. And it is God Winks for Moms. And it came out this past May for Mother's Day 2025. And I was so honored and just, I couldn't believe it. But I see God. I think we have to stop and look around and be present and be looking up and be off our phones and be off scrolling to be able
mm-hmm.
to see God winks too, Abby. I do
Mm,
think they're out there. You have to be able to have your eyes wide open.
mm-hmm.
So it's, I just think it's God giving us a little sign, a little nudge, a little
Mm-hmm.
reassurance that you're on the right path and you're not alone. So
Yes, yes.
it's,
That,
I love my God winks, and we have a coloring page too that you can download about spelling dog backwards.
oh, okay.
So
That is so lovely. And it's exactly the kind of gentle truth that sticks with children long after the storytelling ends.
yes,
Speaking of that, your book and finger puppets are such clever creative tools. How can parents or teachers use them to spark conversations about kindness and positive behavior at home or in the classroom?
I just feel like the finger puppets, the reason I thought those up, I thought I need something for engagement. And I've been on enough school visits and done some story times, Barnes and Noble.
Yay.
Go over there and do a story time and then also do a book launch over there a few weeks ago, which was amazing. I'm so grateful for all of that. But I've noticed that I feel like I've been able to test my book with hundreds of children now, and they've been anywhere from 2 years of age to six, and I see what they like, what brings them excitement in these illustrations.
Hmm.
I didn't know we've worked on this for about a year and a half,
Yeah.
and so now being able to open the book and have the finger puppets go along with it, and I see how the
Oh,
children are, there's a question and answer. I did a 45-minute question and answer at one school, and they were asking things like, "How do I become a writer?" And
oh.
we have the fruit of the spirit in our school, and each month a new student gets an award for displaying one of the nine fruit of the spirit here at this school. And I thought this was so amazing. And so I think the little finger puppets and the stickers, I also have M&Ms. M Mochi, M Murphy, those have been very popular. Uh, they're sweet treats. They're cute and they're orange, pink, and yellow, the colors of the
Oh,
illustrations, and they have cute little fruit of the spirit and spread kindness like confetti stickers on
oh.
them, along with a little sweet treat of a vanilla shortbread cookie. So we're having a lot of fun. We're spreading a lot of sweetness around there too. But Abby, I hope I answered your question. I feel like it does bring self-confidence to children. It brings them lots of goodness to fill them up and
Hmm.
to love on them and to
Oh,
listen to them, actively
oh.
listen to them.
Yes.
And I think that, your children are still young, Abby, but when mine were little, you can't see your children any older than they are at this moment in time, right?
Hmm.
So now when I'm going in the school system and I'm looking at these sweethearts that were my kids' age
Oh,
entering, and then I found myself in admissions role. But I look at these little children and I think, oh my gosh, mine are 27 and 29 now. I blinked and they grew up. I just want to love on these little ones like I did with
oh.
my own children and all of their friends and so on.
Yeah.
And now I'm an older mama, um, almost pushing a new decade, 60, and I just feel like I want to just make sure this generation just grows up kind and loving,
Kind and
especially
loving.
in the world right now where it can be, in social media,
Oh,
everything
yeah.
blasted at them right away when it
Hmm.
happens. And we didn't have that. So we got to process. But I think they're going from one event to another event to another event. It can be a fearful and a little daunting. So
Yeah.
I want to spread kindness like confetti as much as we
Um,
can.
I love it. If I lived in closer to you, I would come to your book event. I would come to
Oh, yeah.
anything. Bring my children. Bring everybody who spread the word. Like, thank you
You're
so much for being here today. You're spreading kindness already. You're spreading joy and smiling and just goodness. I'm loving this conversation. This is my area. I love it. Thank you. Thank
I
you
know it
so
is.
much.
I connected with you immediately where I knew it.
Yes.
So I'm so grateful for you, Abby, and your busy
Oh,
days and how you're doing this and helping people through your amazing podcast.
oh, thank you so much. And I wanted to ask you for anyone listening who feels called to write a children's book, but doubts their
Mm.
qualifications, what words of encouragement would you share?
Oh my goodness. I would say I talk about getting 1% better every day.
I
Um,
love it.
it's it's what you do when no one is watching.
Hmm.
It's the grind, it's the challenge, it's the consistency, it's the
Consistency.
humility. So I feel like you need to be humble. I also feel like it's important not to tell everybody that you want to write a book because sometimes we tell people we want to run a marathon. Sometimes we tell people we're going to lose 10 pounds by January 1st. Sometimes we tell people we want to write a book. And then if you don't do it, it almost works in reverse for you. It almost discourages you.
Hmm.
So I would say start researching, start writing, get out a college ruled notebook paper, which I did. One of those college ruled three subject books
Yeah.
sitting around in my desk drawer. I got it out. I wrote the simple rhyme, but what I did is I put it away for several years. I put it on a bookshelf, Abby, and I was cleaning and dusting and cleaning out some old books and things like that. And I came across this. And what's very interesting, discovering a book or something you've written or a rhyme like this several years later, it's almost like time travel. The way I describe it is like you're transported back to who you were then when you wrote it.
Yeah,
And it
I
kind of,
love it.
right? And so it was surprisingly emotional. There was joy in remembering the spark that made me write it in the first place,
Hmm.
looking at these two dogs and how they were taking on each other's characteristics. I even wrote an author's note, which I found to be very surprising. And my author's note was spread kindness like confetti because it was an
Oh,
edition of my blog and be good to others and to yourself.
oh,
And I just picked it up, Abby, and I said, I read it to my husband and my children, and they said, Mom, you should try to get this published.
oh,
Putting the growth mindset into play, getting out of my comfort zone,
yes,
um, being uh, you know, fearless,
yes.
all of these things with the consistency and with the humility and with the getting better 1% and the
Mhm.
grinding behind the scenes move me forward in um, getting this book together. But I have to say the most important thing is the old Kirsten would have pushed things. I would have forced things. I would have put that little square peg in a circle and said, oh, I
Mhm.
need to do this and I got to do this. And instead of going crazy like that, I would
Yeah.
pray about it and I would let
Oh,
things unfold. And then before you know it, I find my illustrator. I find a publisher. I submitted that book proposal, which was a leap of faith.
yes.
And all of this came together for the good, Romans 8:28. However, I didn't push anything.
Hmm.
Sometimes I sat for months and months praying about it. And if I didn't
Hmm.
feel right, I didn't move on it. And that
Right.
means the new self, the new we're always becoming, my pastor always talks about we're always becoming our new self every day. We're different than we were yesterday or last month.
Right.
We will
Hmm.
be, 2 weeks from now. But this is, if I to answer your question, I hope I have to encourage people to move forward and it's not make your dreams a reality, and take baby steps.
Baby steps. You did answer my question, and that is so encouraging. I can almost hear listeners exhale hearing that. Let's bring it back to the heart of your message, the lesson you hope every child carries with them. If a child walks away with A Tale of Two Dogs, remembering one core lesson, what would you hope it is?
Oh, Abby, I hope it's the nine fruit of the spirit and the sprinkle of confetti and the devotional, as I had mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, is going live today on the U Version Bible app. And it's a
Yay!
10-day plan for children, but it's for mamas to go on there and just do the 10-day plan. Each day we talk about one of the fruit, and there's a scripture verse that goes with it. There is so much, and it's wonderful. It has lots of color,
Aw, look at
and there's
that.
a reflection prompt, there's a family activity, there's a
Love
prayer at
it.
the end, and it is going to be
Oh,
I happy, and I want people to walk away with it. I want them to understand that this 10-day devotional goes with the Tale of Two Dogs. It
ah.
connects with the Confetti Effect blog. Those
Mm-hmm.
are my three home runs that I feel like have all they've all grown together in this ecosystem. I know I used
Mm-hmm.
that word earlier, but I don't know how the whole experience has just, I didn't know where it was going to lead, but God did, and I found myself in this spot. So I'm
Oh,
very, very grateful and humbled.
congratulations again. That is so beautiful. And I can see why that message resonates with so many families. Before we close, I'd love to talk about the deeper purpose behind all your storytelling. You said your goal is to build character through storytelling, not
Yes.
just to entertain. How do you weave those values into your creative process?
I start with my prayer. I, a couple years ago, my husband was diagnosed with cancer. So we had a test, and I believe that test leads to your testimonial. I guess that does explain too, around the same time where my work went from self-help to more faith-based, and I was
Mhm.
going deeper, and I was understanding that what God was doing in me and my husband and my family, and finding us an amazing church, Grace Church, 3 years ago, where we have become very active in lots of different ministries. But um, I do believe that I was able to write with heart. I was
Oh,
able to dig deeper. I was able to really be vulnerable. And I used to be very private about my faith and my journey. And now I'm not anymore. I realize that you have to be bold and go in
yes.
faith, and we are meant to go out and spread the gospel and to disciple and others. And so that was I do believe that is the reason all of this has come about. I believe the path I'm on, I feel like, I don't know if I could say I'm on fire for Jesus and just talking to people about the fruit of the spirit. I'm not afraid anymore. And I
Yes.
think that I don't know if anyone else can relate to that, but I was very private. I didn't know how somebody else would react to me talking about the Holy Spirit or a scripture verse. And
Mhm.
uh, so the vulnerability of all of this has really just made me break free, if I can say it that way,
Oh,
given me more depth in my writing and my storytelling,
yes.
my compassion and my empathy, in my Oh, love of just what I'm doing. So I've seen a lot of transformation in my own life and like spreading kindness like confetti, it is contagious. And so I do want to continue inspiring and encouraging people that way too in their faith.
Oh, Kirsten, what a joyful and hope-filled conversation. Your work reminds us that kindness isn't something small, it's something that ripples. Through your stories, faith, and creativity, you're showing children and adults how to let their light shine and share it freely. Before we close, where can listeners connect with you and join the Confetti Effect community?
Oh my goodness, Abby, thank you for asking. I have a fabulous website. It's bright and happy and colorful, and it's found at kirstennelsontelan.com. And on there, um, there's a section where you can find my book. It's in all stores wherever books are sold, Amazon and Barnes and Noble and Books a Million. Just so you can go on there and order it if you would like, and you can find my blog, The Confetti Effect, on there. You can download coloring pages. You can find my finger puppets, stickers, and just learn more about me. And you can see the early sketches of the illustrations, which I think are really cool to look at now.
Oh,
All our notes, and I think it gives some inspiration on where we started, which was out of a college ruled notebook. So I would love
wow.
for your audience to go to kirstennelsontelan.com and just discover all of this goodness.
Wow. If the colors of your website is anything like your book, I am going because your book just blew me away. It's attractive, it's beautiful, it's fun, it's relatable, it's eye-catchy, and most importantly, the benefits, the kindness, the message, the beautiful message to connect children, adults, and all of us together is just beautiful. And I will encourage listeners to check out your website and really find happiness, find joy, and give back, give the joy, kindness, ripple it. So
Riplet. Yes.
ripple it, ripple it.
Abby, I think you'll love the website because it is very bright. I also have an Instagram that you can, in the book, there's a QR code and on the
Uh-huh.
website as well. And if you scan it, you can go right to the real Mochi and Murphy from Orlando, Florida, and you can see videos and you can see pictures. So that's fun too for the kids to say, oh my goodness, these are real dogs. Look at them in their backyard.
Uh-huh.
So that's
Thank,
fun too.
thank you so much again. It's been wonderful meeting you.
That was Kirsten Telan, reminding us all that kindness, courage, and character grow through simple moments. One story, one act of love, one confetti sprinkle at a time. If today's conversation made you smile or give you a little hope, share it with someone who needs a dose of light today. I am Abby Dominguez, and as always, thank you for joining me for another heart to heart moment where we keep celebrating children, caregivers, and the conversations that make a difference.
Thank you for sharing this space with us on Heart to Heart with Abagaba. I hope this conversation inspired you to keep moving forward in hope and light. If this episode spoke to you, please share it with someone you love. Leave us a review and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a moment of inspiration, connection, and joy. May your home be filled with peace, your heart with joy, and your spirit with the quiet strength of love. Until next time, take care of your heart, take care of each other, and keep celebrating the love that makes us family.